It's Nolan. Southside.
Some more labor, brought it straight from the dirt. Double my grind, just a triple more word. Rockin' the same clothes from the first to the third. Say what you want.
Motivated by grace, but I don't like them. It's for the industry and all them haters that comprise it. I own my image and likeness. I'm fighting like Leonidas. To be righteous is key. I had to make my circle tighter, cause they life is the street. I'm from the jungle where you kill what you eat. I love the feast. Taught myself how to cook, it was franks and butter beans. Hot summers, no treats. Niggas won with no retreat. If they gotta get you, they willing to shoot you right through the priest. That's where I'm raised at. Took day back. Y'all niggas listening to slave rap. Just got my chain back, crafted by Arabs. Wait, I got a blade strapped under the wave cap. My city full of niggas bleeding like a fucking ASAS. So when I say I overcame the odds, I don't pray to God. Watch niggas that was shaving hard, had to take a charge till I came to change the cards. Hey, I ain't got no words for y'all. I don't do the rap beats. I'm trying to get my girl to drop.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well this evening. This particular show, we're going to be getting into Miss SZA. It looks like she's about ready to retire from music. She's fed up. She don't want to be in the music industry anymore. She wants to go off and find better things to do with herself. She wants to go off into the mist, into the sunset, go into the farm, be on land, walk around in the dirt and the soil with her bare feet. She no longer wants to be in this game no more. Okay? She put out a tweet talking about how she still owes the label 2 more albums, and once she's done, she's out of here. Okay? I find that to be very interesting. And we're also going to be talking about Beyonce, but not in the typical way that we do. We've got country artist Jelly Roll. Unfortunately, he's got an interview with Andrew Schultz. I know how y'all feel about him. Y'all know how I feel about him. I don't fuck with him. But we're going to focus on what Jelly Roll has to say, because he pretty much took over the interview and went on a monologue of sorts to talk about Beyonce's treatment from the country music genre, from Nashville, from the institution that is country music, why she didn't get the awards, why she didn't get the accolades, why she didn't get the credit and the adulation that she really deserved from them. He kind of expounds on it. I've seen some people out here that are trying to throw him under the bus, say he's wrong for talking about this. They're trying to pit him against Beyonce, which I'm not really understanding. There's some people that are trying to use his history of once being a rapper and trying to equivalate him to somebody like a Post Malone who used rap as a launching pad and then went to country. I hate to break it to you, Jelly Roll never blew up as a rapper. He was an underground rapper for like 10 years. He got locked up because he was doing dumb shit, throwing his life away. He got out, started singing about his troubles. He discovered he had a singing voice. He started making different types of music, rock music, country music, etc. And he just happened to have a better reception from the crowd and blew up as an artist in that field. So I don't put him in the same category that I will put as a Post Malone, who literally was known as a rapper, blew up as a rapper, was respected, had top charting hits as a rapper, was creating with all the rappers, all the top rappers, the Migos, the Savages, everybody. And then all of a sudden says, man, hip hop, I don't even fuck with hip hop no more. That's a low vibrational genre of music on some Miley Cyrus shit. That's not the same as Jelly Roll. Okay? But we're going to talk about it and get to it, all right? So first, let's get to SZA, because this is the shorter portion, and then we'll get to what Jelly had to say, you know what I mean? So SZA comes out, and she says, SZA says, to fulfill my last 2 album requirements, I think I just want to make peaceful children's music and get out of here. Then go be a farmer and donate the produce to underserved communities, okay? So she don't even want to continue making the type of music that she's been given to people. She no longer wants to make, toxic love making music. She no longer wants to make you hurt me, I'ma hurt you back music, and all of those different things that she produces that she's become well known for. She wants to make peaceful children's music for the next 2 albums. Do I think she's going to get the opportunity to do that? Absolutely not. She's got 2 labels in her pocket. TDE already has been strict enough on her about releasing albums and making sure that they're up to par, making sure that they're of proper quality, and spacing those releases out to build anticipation. You know, they like to play the game of teasing you. You know what I mean? They like to tease your tip until you can't take it no more. You know what I mean? Pause. But as it pertains to releases, that's what they do. Especially with her. But then you also got to keep in line that she's also signed to a major label outside of TDE. The big machine behind her is RCA Records. And RCA Records is also a company that's known for not putting out a lot of a high volume of material on their R&B artists, right? They may let somebody like Future drop 2-3 times a year, however he wants to do his shit. But when it comes to their R&B acts, we saw how they've treated Normani. We've seen how they treated Doja Cat. She wanted to get the fuck away from them too. We've seen the way that they've treated a whole plethora, a whole genre of artists that went over there, signed, blew up, and then all of a sudden, it's like, hey, wait, hold on. You know what I mean? So I think she's facing adversity. I think she's facing resistance. I think she's facing challenges from every angle, right? There's already rumors of her and Punch being at odds. There's that on again, off again relationship that they've had for years, right? Just over the holidays, we saw Punch was allegedly fired. He allegedly walked out. Then he was allegedly back managing her. So that's already enough for you and your manager to be in weird space. We don't know how Top feels about her because I think she has a good relationship with the label. I would assume so. They allow her to rock. You know what I'm saying? She's about to go out with Kendrick very soon. I can't wait. I got tickets. You know what I mean? Me and my wife, we're going. But at the same time, I don't know her personally. I don't know her character, but it seems that she can be, you know, a little tough to manage. You definitely got to, you know, maybe wear the kid gloves with her. But then when you get tired of wearing the kid gloves, it's like, bruh, sit your ass down, okay? You're too grown for this. That's how it seems, because she seems to be like very impulsive with how she wants to move, but then they have to sit her down. So do I think that they're going to allow her to put out 2 children's albums? Absolutely not. They'll put your ass on the shelf before they let you do that. And that sucks as an artist, right? To come to the table with music and come to the table with something that you think is good. But it sounds to me she wants to bullshit her way out of the contract so that she can retire from music and not owe nobody nothing. I just don't see it happening, but I do wish her peace. I do wish her the best. I like her as an artist. I think she's extremely talented. She's a good looking woman. Like, she has a lot of good things going for her, but I think she still has a bit of growing up to do, even though she's 35. I think she still has a lot of personal growth to undergo. Otherwise, we wouldn't know about none of this stuff in the first place. But I do wish her the best. And I hope those next 2 albums that she delivers are classics, not children's music, because they're not going to let you do that no way. Okay? It's just, it is what it is. Now, as it pertains to Beyonce and Cowboy Carter album being overlooked, being shunned, being snubbed in the country music genre, let's get to Mr. Jelly Roll and see what he has to say. And y'all give me your thoughts on his thoughts.
Do you have like any insight or opinion on like the whole drama with Beyonce not getting nominated for any country awards?
Man, this is a slippery slope too. And I'll hang here with you because I'm willing to with my friends. Mm-hmm. I think that the body of art was incredible. There's no denying that. Like, I always take all politics out of it before we even talk about those. Mm-hmm. What did the art actually say? Mm. Was it good? right? And the record was good. I don't know if it was Beyonce's best record. You know what I mean? It didn't make me feel the way even Renaissance made me feel as a full body of work. But there was 2 or 3 songs on there that I thought could be country song of the year for sure. What she did with Jolene Alone to me was just unbelievable, you know, and how much Dolly loved it. To me, that's the real tale, right? If Dolly loves it, it's a big deal. So my argument starts with the art. My argument is, I think she should be nominated because the art was worthy of being nominated. The flip side of the argument, and this isn't my argument, so I don't want to get crucified or nailed to this cross, is that Nashville is a small community that is trying to keep country music as a boundaryless genre. And I know boundaryless seems like, well, that's the opposite of not putting Beyonce in it, but meaning like they never allowed country to get put in subgenres like rock did. So like they've kind of like, country is one of the last genres left that you could just say there's a country music concert happening and a certain group of people will still just show up. You know what I mean? Like it don't really matter. It's like, you know what I mean? Like you could say there's a pop concert happening and somebody's going, who's going to be there?
Got it.
They could say, hey man, there's a country concert happening down the street, and people will kind of just blindly go based on the consistency of country music. That's being ran by the town of Nashville, my city, where I'm from. But this is being ran from the industry. It's like how, you know, like all the record labels are in New York for hip hop. All of them are for pop in LA, or, you know, how it used to be, whatever. Now it's kind of everywhere. But these people looked at it, the people who are the 20,000 registered, 30,000 registered voters. Like the Grammys only has that many voters, or 60,000 or something, 100,000, whatever it is, right? These people that are in that, look, they are only really hip to what's happening in Nashville. Right? So it's not as malicious as one thinks. It's not like, in my mind, from what I know of these people, the few, I don't know all 16,000 of the voters neither, right? Or I'd fucking win more. But it's like, the ones I know are just more like, they just missed it, because to them it was more of like a, you know, it was a big TikTok moment, the Texas Hold'em song. They were like, you know, we're like, in country music, there's, you know, there's 3 award shows, bare minimum 4 really now, a year that really matter, like to us as a community, like the ACMs, which is the Academy of Country Musics, the CMAs, which is the biggest night of country music. This is the one that's coming up. It's the Country Music Association. I won the best new artist last year.
Yeah,
that was awesome. The speech.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was that speech. That is the one though. That's a really big deal. I'm nominated for Entertainer of the Year this year. Wow. This is a huge honor.
Congrats, my guy.
And for some of these people, I think they just didn't see the visibility of the album. Not that the album wasn't huge and it wasn't impactful or a great piece of art. They just didn't see the visibility of it. She didn't tour it. It wasn't like Morgan Wallen is like out here selling out 3 stadiums a night like Beyonce did for Renaissance. Now, had the same campaign happened for Renaissance that happened with this album, I would have stood up and been like, this is wrong. Right. You know what I mean? But like to them, it was more of like and this is, I can't speak for all 16,000, and this isn't how I feel. Just what I've heard is like, to them, it just felt like an eclectic art piece to try to broaden the horizons of the space. And they felt like that a nod that's even bigger. Some people in this town feel like what's even bigger than giving her a nod was that Shabuzi broke by being on her album, and he's up for Best New Artist of the Year and looking like a winner. Yeah. And he's having a huge year at country radio and a huge year at all the country award shows. And like, he's in Nashville in the community writing.
But he's embedded in the culture.
Yeah, he loves the culture of Nashville.
Whereas Beyonce is a little bit more of an outsider.
And I'm not saying, I don't think that makes it right that she wasn't nominated.
Yeah.
I want to be
She's
clear
a
about
colonizer,
that.
is what you're saying.
Thank you, Schultz. Thank you,
I
Schultz.
get that. It's just more of a
but I'm giving
gentrifier, if you will.
I only want to be the guy who
kind
takes
of using the
risk.
art form. And I got you. A Kardashian.
That you got it.
Got it.
Wow.
Got it. I got it.
You get what I'm saying?
I get the point you're trying to make. I wouldn't say any of those things. I think she's a brilliant, talented artist. I love Lemonade. But it is, I get it. These are the tough things that you gotta work on.
I get it, because it's the same in the film world and the Academy.
Nobody asked. So Miles,
All right, once the motherfuckers started chiming in and giving their opinion and all that bullshit, we sign out, all right? But I feel like Jelly Roll didn't do nothing but give us what we already know. I feel like Jelly Roll basically told us he does not agree with the decision to not give her the nominations or the awards. He feels like at bare minimum, she had a couple records that should have cleaned up. I don't know what more people wanted from him, right? Because I'm seeing folks saying, well, as much y'all want to talk about country music gatekeeping and preserving and stuff like that, well, maybe hip hop should do the same. Duh, that's what motherfucker been saying. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop has been run like Welcome All Park for very many years, but that doesn't mean, you know, and I think it's a good thing that we've kind of minimized on gatekeeping to a degree, because sometimes the best talent doesn't get in without being ushered in, right? So then when you remove the gatekeepers, you make it about an online thing, you make it viral, you make it that, this and that, where you can still get your shot off your own merit. So you should be able to do whatever the fuck you want to do if people latch onto it. But at a certain point, I do think that maybe hip hop should say you could be viral, you could gain support, but you can't be seen amongst this group unless you go through, unless you exhibit a love and a care for the history of this thing, right? You have to go through a refresher course of where this comes from, right? I hate to give Diddy any kind of kudos, but we saw him making the band, for one, that in order for them to even make it through the first barrier to become the band, we're talking about the first band, you had to understand the history of hip hop. You had to be able to recite certain songs in hip hop in order to be taken serious, right? Now, outside of that, I'm not giving him no bail, but I'm just using him as an example because those that saw that era, we saw like, yo, you're not gonna be in this group if you don't know where this thing comes from. At least the hits from my label. And I think that was fair because the folks with talent still got their shot. The folks that loved and appreciated, like some people had their favorites out of the contestants that didn't make it, but they still ended up putting together a decent group. They just didn't live long. Trying to force 5-6 people to be in a group that don't know each other, that could be tumultuous. But yeah, I feel like hip hop should implement some certain level, some certain standard to say, all right, you've made it this far. Now, in order for you to make it to the next level, we need to see certain actions. We need to see certain benchmarks to where we can receive you amongst the actual, I don't know if you want to call it a fraternity or institution or whatever you want to call it, amongst the who's who. You can't get nominated for awards. You can't, you know what I mean? Maybe. But then there's going to be pushback on that too. But at the same time, country music don't give a fuck. You want to be a rock artist, you could put rock music out. You could go viral for your rock songs, but are you going to get booked among the legends in rock and roll? Are you going to be at the same festivals? Are you going to go through the same circuit that these other bands that dedicate their life to it are going to be at? I don't know. I don't think so, right? Because there is a level of gatekeeping in these genres that hip hop just doesn't have. And I think we look at things like, this is how we let y'all come and have free reign. We embrace you. We'll get in your video. We'll fuck with you. The cookout is open. But then these other folks are not so endearing when it comes to their celebration. You're not walking into the quinceañera and taking over the show. You're not walking into the bar mitzvah and taking over the show. You're not walking into the Grand Ole Opry, which is, country music capital type shit. You're not walking into the Grand Ole Opry thinking you're finna book a rap show in here without getting 50 signatures to say you could do that. Whereas you could go to any venue up the street and book your show long as you got $500, $1,000, $1,500, right? It's different. But I don't think Jelly Roll should be condemned for anything he said. He said he likes her music. He didn't feel like it was her best album. There's a lot of people that feel like it wasn't her best album. I don't even feel like it was her best album, but I feel like it was a piece that was needed in her catalog based on the mission that she has. She's making statements at this point in her career, and she's giving good music. But I would be a liar to say if it was my favorite, right? So where was he wrong? Maybe it's the platform he went on to talk about it, but I don't see where he was wrong. And again, Jelly Roll is somebody who comes from hip hop. He went through the underground circuit. He went through working with Lil White and 3 6 Mafia and all these other people. He put in like a decade of doing underground shows. Underground shows are some of the best and worst things you could ever encounter as an artist, right? You're building community with other people, like-minded people, folks in your community, you know what I'm saying? You get to know them, you see them out, y'all develop relationships, y'all may collaborate, y'all may hang out. It's dope. But then it's also terrible because you could get caught up in that scene and not go nowhere. You could feel like you're making progress. You look down and it ain't nothing but a hamster wheel under your feet. Right? So he went through that whole thing. Plus he was a fucking drunk and an addict and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? On top of being an underground rapper that wasn't going nowhere. So for him to sober up, change his life, discover he has a singing voice that he can use without auto-tune, by the way. It ain't like he just bullshitting on the mic. And he went through phases before he got to country music. There was a process that he took because he wanted to get there. I can't be mad at that nigga for that shit, man. Only thing I could be mad at is for country music. And I must say, Shabuzi has gone through the process. He went through the whole shit, being a part of their shows, doing their things, doing their showcases, doing the festivals, doing all that shit for years, right? Finally comes to a head and he got snubbed. He got overlooked in some areas, even when they nominated him, right? I think that's fucked up. But perhaps Beyonce's not the one to reap the benefits. Maybe Shabuzi long-term will reap the benefits. Maybe Tanner Adele long-term will reap the benefits. Raina Roberts. You know what I'm saying? All the young ladies that contributed to the album, all the young ladies that we saw at the Beyonce Bowl, maybe they're the ones long-term that are going to reap the benefits because they're the ones that have dedicated their life to being country artists. Beyonce was just a figurehead to say, something's going on over here. There's a movement going on over here. There's been a movement going on over here that has not been given the proper attention. And I'm going to use my celebrity. I'm going to use my talent. I'm going to use everything that's vested in me to dedicate a year to change. And that change has been materialized. And we've seen how lives have been impacted and changed in that time. Not to mention how she's turned up the sale of cowboy apparel. So whether or not she got embraced, she had a mission, she accomplished it, and I don't think she's done. All right? So that's my assessment of the situation. Let me know what y'all think down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider, and I will catch y'all on the next one. All right? Much love and respect, y'all. Peace.
King of my city in cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.